Greetings YouTube. I have unfortunately joined the ranks of the people who is having an issue with their controller, with the face buttons. Some people have reported, most people, the issue is these two buttons sticking, or one or the other. Some people have reported the directional pad, some people it's the shoulder buttons. Me, it's the microphone button. And yes, I know the light is on, that's because I've disabled the mic like everyone's been advising you to. But I was playing Cyberpunk 2077 and I was having a bit of an audio issue. The sound went out in the game.
Well, I think she's a lying, manipulative bitch. She put me together.
And I didn't know why. And it turns out that if you hold the mute button, it mutes your console audio. And I didn't know that at first. It confused me. I thought it was Cyberpunk throwing me another fucking glitch up. Now, if it was just the button that was stuck, I'd just, don't really care. Because I don't intend on using the microphone, you know what I mean? So who cares? The problem is, if I now fire up a DVD or Amazon Video or a game and you watch it, won't fucking do it now. When we get to the main menu, if I press the X button, nothing works. And it's been doing this. This is the main problem. Now there is a fix that I can do. I can press the PlayStation button, still works for some reason. If I go down to it, I select accessories, wireless controller, turn off. Oh, please reconnect. Okay. Reconnect. Now if I press X, everything works. It's back to normal. Except that the audio's gone now. Now I can't, that's not me that's muted it. That's the console that's muted. And again, it's all tied up in the audio button. Something in here is not quite right. So the only way to get around this is to press the PlayStation button, go down to where it's muted, and for some reason it's muted itself, turn off muting. Now I have control and I've got audio. I don't know, something's not right in here. Also, for some reason the backlight around the touchpad is not coming on. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I don't normally pay attention to the light, so I don't know when that went out. So yeah, having some issues. I was in two minds as to whether I actually wanted to go away and get a replacement to see if I could, because according to the receipt, because it's Christmas, normally the cut-off is 30 days, but the receipt does say we can offer an exchange or credit note on items returned before the 3rd of January. It is the 3rd of January now. And I've only just worked out, because this whole issue occurred yesterday. Wouldn't you know? I've been in two minds as to whether to go down to the shop or not because of all the other issues that everyone else has been having. Because I don't use this button. I don't use the microphone mute button. And I'm not having an issue anywhere else, and I have a workaround. So, do I want to exchange a controller with a broken button that I don't use for potentially another controller that has one or two broken buttons that I do use? And I've been umming and ahhing about it, but I think I will go down and see what they have to say. Because really, the controller shouldn't be doing any of this shit. I mean, I know that my issue is slight. And once the game's running, it's fine. It'll be running from now until I turn the game off. But when I start the game up again, I'll have to repeat the process. So it's just weird. So I'm going to go down to the shop, and it's open until 5 o'clock, and it's just before 3 in the afternoon. So I've got a couple of hours. I don't know whether they'll exchange it or not, because I'm like 1 day after, according to the receipt. I'll see what they have to say. If they say I have to go and contact Sony instead, then I'm just going to say bollocks to it. I'll manage, because I'll be on hold with Sony for 2 years. You know what I mean? Might be easier to just wait until they're done with the Mark Ones or whatever this is, and come out with an improved version that hopefully gets past these issues. I'm hoping that these button sticking issues is not a major thing though. I know a fair few people are having them, but I don't know how big a proportion. More than Sony was hoping for, I dare say. Because the controller is very impressive when it's working. But anyway, I'm going to stop rabbiting now. I'm going to go down and see what they say. I'll pick this video up when I get back, regardless of what happens. Well, that was easy. I was expecting a bit of a fuss. But I suppose technically this is my second unboxing video ever. But they didn't argue. Not real. Well, they didn't argue at all. They asked me what the problem was, and I'm trying to get my scissors sorted out. And they asked me what the problem was. I tried to give it to them in brief rather than describing all the ins and outs like I did before I went down there. To this video, I mean. I'm trying to cut the tape without cutting myself. And only being marginally successful. Come on, you bastard. There we go. Jesus. That was surprisingly hard to get into. But, yeah, really, that was it. It was very pain-free. And hopefully this one is not exactly the same as the first one. God. Did I have to unbox the first one like this? So... Okay, well, whatever. I thought the mute button had actually gotten... I thought the microphone button had actually got jammed or something, but I'm looking at this brand new one and actually it's exactly the same. It doesn't change the fact that I was having issues with it, but slight mistake on my part. So let's just connect it, power up. There we go. New version of the wireless controller device software is available. Yes, I guess I will update it now. 8.13.18. At least it does it pretty quickly. I was playing Cyberpunk at the time when it broke. And it broke, the console audio went. Which is why it took me a whole day to realise what the problem was. Because I thought Cyberpunk has just broken so hard, it's broken my console's audio. So hoping that wasn't true, I checked things like the HD cable, I checked my TV wasn't mysteriously muted, whether it was actually radiating audio, I checked my capture software, I checked all the cables were plugged in. I didn't know at first that the controller could be used to mute the console audio, but it can. So it took me a while to pick up on that fact, but right, let's fire up Immortals. Light is still on, of course, because console settings. I didn't press it in case something goes wrong. It listened to me. When it gets itself sorted out. Yeah. I'm not having to go into the menu anymore. It's now fixed. Well, it's not fixed. It's a different controller. You can tell it's a different controller because the back of it isn't dirty anymore. Because the first one, I've had it for about 2 months. Playing with it pretty much continuously. And this, like, whatever this pattern is, apparently this pattern is teeny tiny symbol buttons. You know, triangle, square, X and circle. Apparently that's what this pattern is if you look really closely at it. but it's really good at getting dirt off your fingers and onto the back of the controller. So that's how you can tell it's new. It's white still. But yeah, I thought that Cyberpunk had broken my console so massively hard that time. I couldn't tell the difference because Cyberpunk is so glitchy. Couldn't tell. But yeah, obviously the buttons on all this is fine. I think that my directional pad and touchpad did start getting a bit sticky as well after the 2 months I had it. This is back to normal, but anyway, that's all sorted out now. I'll keep an eye out to see if we ever find out how many people are getting the sticky buttons issue or the stick drift. Some people are having that as well. I dare say that that Sony will never give us the statistics for it, because Microsoft never gave us an official... Did they ever give us an official failure rate for the Xbox 360? I think they did, but people didn't believe the number. So we're going to have to see what the other tech people say. Sony won't be honest about it, definitely not. Why should they? Anyhow, that's finally done. That's taken care of. And if this one breaks, well, I'll see if I can take it back to the shop again. Please don't break this time. Please don't break again.